guys, so today I'm going to talk all about Danessa Myricks stuff. I love Danessa Myricks. I'm a huge fan of hers. If you don't know who she is, she's a makeup artist and photographer, and I just love her. If you're curious at all, I recommend following her on Instagram, seeing her work. She does the most beautiful, beautiful makeup. And she's a beautiful photographer as well. And she's just a beautiful person. Honestly, she is amazing and I love her. I'm really obsessed with her lately. And so I really wanted to try like a bunch of her products. And I hadn't tried any of her stuff, but I've been following her for a long time. And the makeup that she does, her models are beautiful. Just everything is so glowy and flawless and everything that I love. And so I decided to pick up a few different things. I did try to get like a good variety of stuff to get a good feel of her products. I am wearing a ton of it on my face right now, and so we're just gonna go ahead and go through what I got, and then I'm gonna talk about what I think of it all. So one of the first things I want to mention are the Twin Flames. Now these are a new product from her. I know that like Trend Mood has been posting about these. A lot of people have used them, done first impressions already. The reason why these I think are more hyped than I've seen lots of her other products are because they are a liquid multi-chrome eyeshadow for the eyes, and that's just really in right now, those multi-chromes. So I went ahead and picked up 4 of them. I got the color Adore You, which is a like purple, oh gosh, I don't even know, a purple orange gold kind of shifting colors. And then I got Obsession, which is interesting because I feel like online it looks yellow and then you see it and it looks green, but you'll see in swatches, I'll do swatches too, it is like a really interesting color. It's like yellow, but it's also green, and it's like you see hints of like blue in there. It's really pretty. Looking at this, it looks like it's gonna be like the Natasha Denona Scarab color, which is pretty green, but it's really not, I don't think. And then, oops. And then I got the shade Crazy for You, which is like a white with green and pink and gold. And then the color Forever, which is like an orange, yellow, green color. So those are all the colors that I got, and I will have swatches inserted so you guys can see all the colors. I think there were 10 when she came out, and then she just came out with 5 brand new ones. So I haven't tried any of the new ones, but I have tried all of the ones that I got for these. And Adore You is actually what I have on my eyes right now. These are really pretty, but I do have some issues with these. So first let's talk about the Twin Flames. So they have really, really pretty pigmentation, especially like if you put it on your hand and then rub it out, oh my gosh, it's just beautiful. The problem that I have with these is on the eyes, if you build them up, they tend to become patchy. It's kind of like if you have nail polish and then you go over it, if you like bump it, it takes off even the dried polish underneath, kind of. Or if like you have a really creamy eyeliner and sometimes you swipe it twice and it just removes the pigmentation that you first laid down. It kind of reminds me of that. If you try to layer it, sometimes it's actually just ends up lifting up the original color that you laid down. So you have to be careful about that. You cannot, at least in my experience, you can't layer these too much. The other thing is I did a couple looks trying to use multiples, and I don't recommend that either. On her Instagram, she does it and it's beautiful. I'm just not able to make it work. And that also might be because I do have somewhat small eyelids and they are hooded. And so if you have really big, beautiful eyes and you have more lid space and you don't have as much hooded eyelids like I do, then you might be able to do that more than I was able to. So just keep that in mind as well. But my favorite way to use these, I do like them and they're beautiful once you figure out like the best way to make them work. And in my opinion, the best way to use these is I dab a little on my hand or on a palette and then I apply with a brush. I don't like to go in straight with the wand on my eyes, simply because I think that it puts on too much product, and it already is going to get that creasing and patchiness. And it also takes a long time to dry that way. So you can try to put it on and then just like leave your eyes closed and let it dry. And I did try that when I knew I was trying to use multiple shades and there was a lot more product. I was there for a long time waiting. So I think the best way to do it is going in with a brush. And I tried that after seeing Danessa Myricks do that on her Instagram. So it seems like a way that she likes to do it as well. And I think that you have a little bit more control that way too. The other thing I really, really like about these is that I find it's a little bit easier to blend. So if you've ever tried a powder multi-chrome, sometimes they can be a little bit harder to blend because of base colors and you might be like muddying it up a little bit. These are nice because I find that I can blend it a little bit into the look. But what I like to do a full look of eyeshadow. So like right now what I have on my eyes is the shade Adore You, which is the more purpley one, as you can see, and with other powder shadows from ABH actually. So I do recommend like do an eye look and then use this as your main lid color or the center lid or something like that, or maybe the inner corner. I think the best way to use these is like your main pop of something special. Not necessarily am I going to use this and try to blend a whole eyeshadow look with these colors, if that makes sense. So just keep that in mind. They're gorgeous, but it takes some getting used to for sure. It does take some getting used to. If I had to compare to my Natasha Denona ones, because I do have two of her multi-chrome liquid eyeshadows that are very similar to this, I would say for the multi-chrome effect, I actually prefer the Natasha Denona ones just a little bit more because I think like the Adore You one, I think you can probably tell it's not that shifty on my eyes. It really still comes off as just like a purple. The Obsession color, that's gorgeous, super, just beautiful, unique, amazing. I recommend that one. And then, oh, sorry, that was Forever. I was gonna say Obsession and Forever. So it's these two shades. Those are just beautiful, super multi-chrome, and you can see the shift more on the eyes. But I do think that some of the other shades don't have as much of a shift. So I recommend that before you buy any, look up some swatches and see if there's ones that speak more to you, and make sure that you're okay with that shiftiness that you see, because there's some that are more there than others, is all I'm trying to say. So beautiful, but a little bit more finicky. And if you're looking for one that's like a greenish one, for example, and there's that one from Natasha Denona, that's the Scarab one, I might recommend you reach for that one more than these. They're very similar in price. So I do recommend this just a little bit more, but these are also really, really pretty. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is her foundation. It's called the Vision Cover Cream, I believe. Yes, or Vision Cream Cover, sorry. So I have mine in these tiny little bottles, and that's because I wasn't really sure which shade to get, and she actually offers these cute little bottles, like look like concealer bottles, for $5, and so I got two different shades. Unfortunately, both are a little too dark for me, so that was a little bit disappointing, but it's what I actually have on my face right now, so it's definitely doable for me. I've worn it several times because, spoiler alert, I'm obsessed with this. I love this foundation so much. It's just beautiful. I feel like every time I wear it, I have such a beautiful makeup day. My skin looks nice, but it also doesn't come across as cakey, and it's also not that glowy, which for me, I love me a glowy moment for foundation. I do have dry skin, so I love a good glow foundation, but this isn't that. This is more of, I would say matte, natural matte, more of a look, and I think that's how it's described on the website as well. What surprised me was I did watch a lot of like first impressions before buying this because I was trying to figure out what shade I could get, and in almost all of the first impressions that I watched, it was pretty glowy. On other people, it was like really glowy. And so I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. It is super, 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 super full coverage. Beautiful full colors. And I think that is why maybe I found that most of the videos where I watched our first impression, people went in with a lot of product and were like, oh my gosh, this is so full coverage. I might have gone in with too much product. And maybe that's what happened, because mine was not like that. Mine was not glowy, beautiful natural matte, but it wasn't glowy. So I'm not sure what was going on with those people's first impressions. I don't know, but I've worn it multiple times and that's just not the impression that I got with mine. So I don't know, but I would say it's definitely like a natural matte finish. I don't use that much of it. I dab it on, and the thing about these containers too, the samples, it's not like if you've tried the Shape Tape where it's a big doe foot applicator and it comes off with a good amount of product right off the bat. These don't. So you might have to dip in a couple times. I usually do. I put it on and spread it out, and then I'll put on extra in the certain areas where I need it, which is another reason why I like this product. And I actually really like doing it in this applicator too, because it's really easy to control where I want my coverage since it is such a full coverage foundation. But for me, my favorite way to actually wear this is combined with another product that I'm about to talk about, and that is her beauty oil. So this is just her beauty oil, hydrating facial oil. It's got like little gold flecks in it, and it is just a beautiful, beautiful oil. It doesn't make me break out, doesn't irritate my skin at all, and I love it in combination with this. So what I usually do is I do a drop, and then I dab this on my face, and I go ahead and spread it out, and it is just gorgeous. I've done it with a brush and a beauty blender. Both work really well. I prefer a little bit the beauty blender, but that's pretty much what I prefer in general anyway, so that's just personal preference. I love wearing it like that. It's just so beautiful, and then you do get that glow, and I think you would too with some of her other hydrating primers that she has and things like that. But by itself, you absolutely will get like more of a natural matte finish, I think, if you use, I think, the amount that I tend to use, which isn't very much, and I still am able to get a really, really nice, beautiful coverage. So you just have to remember this is extremely full coverage foundation. You don't really need to go in like what you're used to, a full pump or 2 full pumps for your whole face. That's not, I don't think, what you're gonna have to do with this. I use such a small amount and it just spreads beautifully, such beautiful coverage. I will 1,000 million gazillion % be buying the bigger bottle. And a couple other things too when I go to make another purchase, and I'll talk about the things that I'm gonna go ahead and get more of or different colors of as we go. But absolutely, that is becoming one of my absolute favorite foundations ever. It's just one of those things where I know if I use it, I'm gonna have a beautiful makeup day. And who doesn't love that, right? So while we're on the subject of complexion products, let's go ahead and talk about these 2 items, which is a Prism FX Hydrating Lotion and her Illuminating Veil. So I have seen her use both of these products underneath foundation. So there's kind of a story to these. So first of all, this is gorgeous. This is her Prism FX Hydrating Lotion, and I'll have swatches of this. It comes in a pump, and it's just really nice. I was a little worried about the color because I originally had wanted the one that's like more of a white color because obviously my skin's pretty freaking white. So I was a little worried that this was going to be too dark and actually make it so that it darkened my complexion too much and it would just look goofy. But luckily it's really not pigmented. It's more of just a nice sheen, and it's nice for color correcting. So if you like using things like peach color for color correcting, this might be something you really like, especially if you like a glow, because it gives just such a beautiful glow. So this is beautiful. I love this. I do still want to try the one that's white. I think that these are just gorgeous. I'm so excited about this. And then the other one is this Illuminating Veil, which is actually a liquid highlighter. Like I mentioned, I've seen her use it under foundation, but I've also seen her use it just as a liquid highlighter. This is a funny thing because I actually got this on accident. So I did not order this, but they sent it to me. I will say, just as a side note, when I placed an order and I got my package and there was something missing. So the Twin Flames, the Adore You Twin Flames that I have on my eyes was missing. And then I had this product, but I didn't order it. I ordered something else, which was also missing. So this is the Illuminating Veil in the shade Radiance, but then I also got her, this, which is her Enlight Aura of Radiance powder. And so they, I think, saw Radiance and give me this instead of this. So I will say I had some hiccups with my order, but I reached out to them immediately and they immediately sent me what was missing. I had no problems whatsoever. Great customer service. So it wasn't a bad experience at all. I just wanted to let you know because I have not tried this. It's just, it is way too dark for me. I swatched it. It's beautiful. It's such a beautiful gold color. I think in the summer when I have more of a tan, I will use this actually like on my shoulders. You know, I think it's like a cute moment at the beach, by the pool, summer days, you know, I think then I could get some use out of it. But for right now, it's just not something that I can use at the moment, but it is a beautiful color. So speaking of highlights though, let's talk about that Radiance powder. I got two different highlights. I got the Enlight Aura of Radiance, and then I got the Enlight Halo Powder in Sun. So they're two different products. I mean, as you can see, they're two different sizes and packaging. So obviously they're different products, but they're both like highlighting powders. They're extremely different from each other. So you have to be careful if you're looking, if you just know, oh, I saw, you know, Danessa Myricks use her powder highlight and I loved it. I'm gonna go get myself one in a color that I like. Be careful which one you pick out because they're very different. So if you get this one and you meant to get this one or vice versa, you're going to be disappointed, possibly, because I like them both. But let's talk a little bit about it. So this one is in the shade Radiance, and this is what I have on my face right now. I don't know if you can see. This one is beautiful, I think pretty subtle, in my mind, pretty subtle, gorgeous highlight. I think that the color, I'm going to use a ton in summertime. The color actually reminds me, you can see it's pretty white looking, but it actually really reminds me of that new Anastasia Beverly Hills, Anastasia Beverly Hills highlight that came out. It is very white looking, but it is gold. It is 100% a gold highlight. I don't know if you can really tell on camera, but it's not like a white pearl. It is definitely more of a gold highlight. And so this is gonna definitely be something I can use summer, winter, all the time. Gorgeous, highly recommend. It's beautiful, but definitely more of a natural finish. This one, however, the Halo powder, very similar color, same thing. It's like a white powder, but it comes off as gold. Oh, this is stunning, freaking stunning. But you can just tell even by looking at them. And I will have, again, swatches and stuff so you can see, but you can tell this one has straight up glitter in it. This is really glittery. The other one, you don't see that. You just don't see that glitter. This is extremely glittery. And if you put it on, it is a wow. It's a wow moment. Like, it is not subtle by any stretch of the imagination at all. I would recommend if you go in with this, go in with a very light hand when you are trying it for the first time, because a little goes a very long way. Because remember, this is a loose highlight. It's a loose powder, so it's not like a pressed powder. You're gonna, as soon as you dip your brush in there just the tiniest bit, get a lot more product on your brush. So just keep that in mind. It is intense, but oh my gosh, it's stunning. It's so beautiful. I just know, especially in the summertime, I like highlights more in the summer, if you can't tell. But especially in the summertime, I'm gonna be rocking that like nobody's business. My body, my face, everywhere I can put it, I will put it. It's so gorgeous. Definitely probably for me, not an everyday highlight, but when you want that glow moment, that is gonna give it to you for sure. And then the next product I have here is the Danessa Myricks Dewy Wet Balm. Mine is just in clear, so you can see it's literally clear, completely clear. This goes beautifully on top of that. So you can put that on and it's gonna be like, whew, that's intense. That is intense. But then you go ahead, take your finger, swirl it in there, just dab it over top, and it actually really makes it a lot more wearable, a lot more glowy, wet. I mean, it's obvious, this is a balm, so it does make it kind of wet. It doesn't dry down, so keep that in mind. Like, your face will remain a little like tacky. It's nothing though, it doesn't feel goopy or tacky in an uncomfortable way. You don't feel it like on your cheeks. It doesn't feel sticky or anything. So it's super comfortable. I've never really tried a product like this where it was like a clear balm that didn't feel kind of just a little icky on your skin. This doesn't feel like that at all. It's very comfortable. And if you have a highlight like that where you like the color, but it's a little too intense, or you just love a highlight and you're like, wow, I went a little crazy on the highlight today. This really mellows it out a lot and just blends it into the skin beautifully. I mean, you can use it on any highlight really, or even put this on without a highlight and you're still gonna get just a little bit of that highlight look because of the fact that this is a wet balm. So this is a beautiful product as well. Great, great, great product. I do want to try this in the other color. They have it in clear, which is the one I have, and then I think 2 other colors, and I want to try in the other color because then you can just use it on its own even more, and it still gives you a little color. I'm excited about that. So this, highly recommend. And then my last products here are the Colorfix liquid things because they're not just liquid shadows, they're multi-purpose. Let's see what they actually are called. They're just Colorfix mattes, matte liquid pigment for lip, cheek, and eye color. And then I also have one that is the glaze, so it's a little bit different. So these are matte, and then obviously this is a glaze, so you're gonna get that glossy lid look, which is like really in right now, and it's really, really beautiful. So let's talk about the matte ones first. These are gorgeous. They're absolutely gorgeous. I will be buying absolutely more of these. I'm definitely going to get the primary colors and then the black probably. I love these. They're just, oh my gosh, they're stunning. They're so, so gorgeous. They blend out absolutely beautifully. They're pretty easy to use, which was something I was concerned about. One thing I will say is I realized pretty quickly, you need a very, very little bit to do your eye look. I think start off the best way, dab on your hand, dab on a palette, go in with a brush and apply it that way, similarly to how I like to use the Twin Flames. The difference is these are, you can use it for anything. You can use it as your crease shade, you can use it as your lid shade, you can use it as a base, you can blend it out like crazy, you can use multiples. Like these are super, super multi-purpose. And then again, you can also use it on your cheeks, use it on your lips. It's gonna blend out gorgeously. Start with a little bit and build up as you use it. That's how I would recommend using these. She has a gazillion colors. She has a whole nude range. She has mattes. She has ones that are, they're not glittery, but like they're, you know, not matte. She has other ones. And then the glaze is actually beautiful too. I will say it's not one of those, it's again, not drying down. It's not gonna give your eyes the wet look and then dry down and it still looks like that. It's a glaze, so just keep that in mind. Some people, it might be a little uncomfortable for them. I don't find it uncomfortable, but that's just me. And it doesn't, and when I've tried it, it really hasn't like creased my eyeshadow. I find that a lot of these products, as soon as you put it on your eye, all your eyeshadow is like collected in your crease. And then like a little bit like down here by your eyelashes, it just separates it. It makes it look all funky. This isn't going to separate your eyeshadow. At least in my experience, it just didn't do that for me. It just looked beautiful, gave you that gorgeous wet look. If you're looking for something like this for photos even if you don't want to wear it every day, but you like it for photos and things like that, but you can't get those to work even because they don't last more than 2 minutes. This one is gonna last for you to be able to do that kind of stuff, get creative, use it in more editorial looks that you might wanna do. So I do recommend these, all of them. They're just beautiful. I'm gonna be absolutely getting more colors. I forgot to mention, I got the shade Real Love and Gingerbread. So, so stunning. The nice thing is too, if you blend them out, you're gonna get more of obviously like a blown out version of this color. So it looks really deep, but once you blend it, it can also look a little bit more light, like more, you know, it doesn't have to be as dark as this depending on how you apply it. I just wanted to put that out there. One thing I do want to mention with just these and the Twin Flames as well, I did find that with both of them, not so much these, but more so these, the Twin Flames, that my eyes, like, yeah, definitely more with these, the more I think about it. You can sort of feel it on your eyelid. Not in, like I have it on right now and it's not something I'm thinking about by any means. I don't really feel it. But if you layer them on, if you put too much on, that's when it's more so. So it's not a problem really when you're using it and you get the right amount on your eyes and you kind of play with them and you figured out the best way to use them. What I think happens if you use a little too much, you will feel the product. It kind of feels like, how do I describe it? It's like if you put like a liquid lipstick on your eyelid, you know, like it feels like tight kind of. Or like nail polish, that kind of makes me think of. So just keep that in mind. You don't want to go like too caked up, especially with these products. At least in my experience with these. I think, again, the best way to use it is a little bit more sparingly, go in with a brush and thin layers. I think that's the best way to use it. So those were all of my products that I got from Danessa Myricks, and I hope that you guys liked this video. I hope that it was helpful for you, and I hope that it encouraged you guys to give a try to Danessa Myricks stuff. You can get her stuff from her website, and you can also get it from Beautylish. So I did actually get a couple of these things from Beautylish, and then I also ordered from her site. I will say that I saw on Beautylish's website that the reviews on the Colorfixes, these ones, some of them said they drew, oh my gosh, hold that thought. I do have to talk about something a second. The caps, one of the things that I have a huge problem with, I love like everything I tried, but the caps are driving me nuts. So the product, if you, okay, it's not doing it on this one, but I think that, which one was it? Okay, now it's not doing it. But it will do it on my foundation, I know that. So when you screw it on, it just, you can continually do it. Like you can feel like it's tight, and then you can like go too far. And it does it for both of my products. This one's not doing it. Okay, I swear it does it. The caps are not the best, and I can prove it to you because this cap is broken. So they're just not the best caps. I wish they would fix the caps. They just need a little bit better system with the caps. I had the same thing with the Colorfixes where I would try to take them on and off, and you can kind of go too far with it, and it goes around and around and around. So just wanted to point that out. But anyways, back to the Beautylish thing. I noticed that some of the reviews on the Colorfix things on Beautylish said they dried out too fast. Now, I haven't had these that long, so I really can't speak to that, but I noticed that some other people were saying buy from Danessa Myricks' website. I don't know how often Beautylish gets new product from Danessa Myricks. Maybe they're just like been sitting on the shelves a long time and that's why people are experiencing them drying out. I don't know. But I think I would recommend, if you're gonna get something like this, maybe go to her website instead. I just wanted to put that out there because I did see some people saying that they dried out fast from specifically the Beautylish website. So I just wanted to put that out there, but you can buy both places. Also, you can buy them from Morphe. Morphe sells Danessa Myricks, but they don't sell her full range. So keep that in mind. And then the other thing I wanted to mention is the little foundation samples for $5. These you cannot buy everywhere. These are only available that I found from her website. So just keep that in mind. Also, I do want to mention that they say they are neutral. It says N03, and somewhere I saw it actually wrote neutral 3 or whatever. I find them to run a little bit warmer than I would expect a neutral to run. So don't go into that necessarily thinking that all of the shades are neutral just because they're N whatever the number. And then this one also is N2.75. This one I actually found was specifically on her website. It was actually listed as a warm shade, but then the name says N. So I don't know what N actually means. It might mean number, you know, I don't know. It probably doesn't mean neutral. Maybe it does. I'm not sure, but I don't find them to be super neutral. If I didn't mention already, I'm wearing the shade N03. The N2.75 was too warm for me, and I'm going to get the shade 2 because I think that might work a little bit better for me. And then actually maybe I'll get 2 and 3 because then I can wear one in the summer and one in the winter. Anyways, I'm going to be buying the full size, but I just wanted to mention that about the color range. If you want to give yourself a chance to try some samples, buy from her website. I'm really happy I did it that way because I'd be kind of bummed if I bought a whole bottle of the 2.75, which is what I thought was going to be the best fit because it's just really too yellow for me. So just keep that in mind. Other than that, I am all done. Sorry for talking your ear off. I hope that you liked this video. Please subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!